What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again, talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. I am joined, as always, by my best man, Mr. Shaun Mean. Shaun, how's it going?
Good, Conor. As we were speaking, the beer garden has just been confirmed with the boys.
This is only funny, right? Because we literally were having a normal conversation for the last 5 minutes when the mics weren't on. And then the minute I click record, you've just said something that makes no sense. What the fuck are you talking about?
The boys are going to the beer garden this evening. I will say we're recording this not on Monday. I'm not going on a Monday drinking.
He's in work.
It's 9 a.m. currently.
So, Shaun, this is the Monday show. So what this means is lots of movie talk, but that also means last week we actually did a spoiler-filled review for Thunderbolts. And that meant we have another extra week of news. So, slightly behind, but I'm going to need you to speed up. We're going to speed run all of your thoughts on all of the week's news, if that's okay.
Oh God, okay. I don't have that many thoughts in general, so I'll try and do them faster.
So, if this is your first episode, you don't have to do anything, just chill out. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you could support the show. That would really help us out. Shaun, every Friday, if you're missing it, we have successfully completed 150 5-star reviews before the summer solstice on Spotify.
Thank you all very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all very much for getting us there 6 weeks ahead of schedule. It was absolutely spectacular. But what we're doing every Friday on the Hero Zero shows, if you haven't been tuning in, is that for every 5 stars that we get above that, so say 151, 152, 150, every single one that we get above that, Shaun has vowed to give us a fact about the summer solstice.
I made an offhand comment and now have been strong-armed into doing this. Like, when does it end? Like, every review?
Every time, ever. For the rest of the time.
We're going to run out of facts!
You ran out of facts after one.
It's true, I don't know that many facts.
So that's something to look forward to if you haven't missed that. We also did Hero Zero on Friday. Shaun, it was your week, but it wasn't Secret Wars. You were finished with big storylines, so what did you do?
I did Anthony Tony Masters, a.k.a. Taskmaster, a.k.a. the leader of the Thunderbolts.
The leader of the Thunderbolts, as they are known, yes. So we covered Taskmaster on last week's Hero Zero, so you can go check that out. But Shaun, enough of all that stuff. I think everything's plugged. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us. Doesn't matter. Because, Shaun, we're going to get into some, I think, some pretty big news to start the week. And that is Thunderbolts Director Jake Schreier could helm the MCU's X-Men movie.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you've seen this, Shaun, but obviously Thunderbolts, quite successful. And you know it's successful because my favourite thing over the last week and a half is that Bob Iger and the lads, as I call them, they're going hard at the fucking every single social media every 5 minutes. Isn't it great, lads? We're back.
In Thunderbolts amazing. Isn't all of Marvel amazing? We're focusing on quality now, guys.
because there's a thing like, say, even after Captain America or like Ant-Man Quantumania or any of that stuff, they don't go all out. They kind of wait to see. And then if it's like, if it's middling reviews or if people are like, it was decent, it wasn't that great, they won't do as much. But Thunderbolts came out and everyone's like, oh, this is an actual really good movie. I really enjoyed this. This was lots of fun. And now they're tripling down.
Now it's all Thunderbolts all the time.
And so now Kevin Feige has a director that he likes, Jake Schreier, and they are rumoured, this is obviously not confirmed, but it is heavily rumoured that Disney, Bob Iger and Kevin Feige are all looking at Jake Schreier to be directing their obviously upcoming X-Men movie that they want to get off the ground. Shaun, what do you think about this?
I mean, famously on this podcast, we love a director who can make a band of misfits into a family, which is kind of the MO of the X-Men. But I think it kind of depends on which X-Men are in the team in that film. Whether it's like a first class thing that's the origin of the X-Men, or hey, the school has just been here forever and here's a load of everyone's favourite
so what you're telling me, we need to find the most depressed X-Men, which is all of them, but we need to find the most depressed ones.
They're all pretty depressed, to be honest. I think genuinely the original lineup would be good.
So what's the original lineup for anyone who doesn't know?
Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Angel, Iceman. I think that's it. I think it's 5.
And Havoc isn't there from First Class.
Havoc isn't there from First Class, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. He doesn't age in those movies, to be fair to him. Fair play to the lad.
That's a 50-year-old man in the last one.
He's clearly 27.
He's been 27 a while. He's got Twilight's disease.
So, I mean, I think once I read this, it's one of those headlines that once it comes in, you're like, oh, yeah, obviously. That makes perfect sense. They now have they have another guy on the roster that they're like, oh, we're going to throw you in.
What else has he directed before outside of Thunderbolts?
I think he did Beef. Was he the director of Beef on Netflix?
Maybe. Give me a sec. Beef, yes, 6 episodes of Beef.
I think he did Beef and Skeleton Crew.
Oh, okay. I've heard good things about Skeleton Crew. Also did he did an episode of Shameless back in the day.
Or back in the day.
Love. And Paper Towns, did he direct? By John Green. Yeah, he did.
Cool. So I mean, like, super talented, but also this whole thing is very. It gives me a real vibe of like they come in. He's done the team up movie. That's all they want.
Yeah.
They need somebody that can do a team up movie that people like. That's gold dust.
Yes, and it was a team up movie with existing characters. The only one he really had to properly establish was Sentry, Bob.
Bob.
So I wonder, like, would it be different if he had to, like, give a brief, like, you know, like a. But also, I think people know the X-Men enough at this point that they kind of get it. I think at this point,
I think the X-Men are kind of like Batman's parents. Like, I don't need to see them die again.
Yeah.
I kind of get the vibe of what you're going for.
I think culturally we might be beyond origin movies for the most part.
Well, like for X-Men and stuff, like how many X-Men movies has there been? There was the 3 originals. Yeah. Then there was 4 in the prequel, sequel ones. So
3 Wolverine solo movies.
So you're at the 10. You're at the 10 movies.
New Mutants.
11 movies, but nobody's seen New Mutants.
X-Men 97, which is real good.
That is real good, to be fair. But like in terms of movies, you've got 11 movies. Yeah. So at this point, I kind of get that Charles Xavier has a school and he's got the psychic powers and you've got a team and they're trying to do good.
Magneto as a character, on name alone, I know everything about Magneto.
He loves metal.
Loves metal. Big fan, big attraction to it, you know?
And Wolverine, I know for a fact, is going to run at him as hard as he can. But his body is made of metal. We have to go through that scene again.
It's true. It's true. We love seeing it every time.
One of these times I really wanted just Logan to get to him. Fuck, I'm actually here.
He just sneaks up on Magneto and just actually stabs him.
He's tried thousands of times. I mean, I think an X-Men movie in itself is interesting because I can kind of see them. I mean, the question for you, Shaun, is will they introduce the X-Men in a different production? Or is it just like, X-Men are here they are. They were always here. I assume they might do like the Fantastic Four style, or they're on a different universe, and that's crashing together, so now they're here.
Yeah, see, we know there is the other universe in Multiverse of Madness. Remember they went to one other universe in the multiverse?
Oh, it was a Multiverse of Madness, to be fair.
The X-Men were confirmed to exist, and we did see Professor X get his neck snapped once again. But
how many times have we seen Professor X die on screen?
I think it's 4 times, I think.
It's almost too many times.
But so the X-Men exist in that universe, for sure. So whether maybe Magneto has taken it over, we know Fassbender's coming back. We know Patrick Stewart's coming back as well.
We also know the big man Channing Tatum is coming back, so you got Gambit in there.
Yeah, Like, and like all the original X-Men are, sorry, the original, a lot of the original cast of the original X-Men series are coming back.
But like, to me, all of those people, like, I always think it'd be really funny if they bring all those people back, and I could see this happening for one of the planets. I don't know which one, but they're bringing everyone back from all those different Fox and Sony and like all the different universes. And when they cut to one of the planets, we get maybe 10 seconds with Sir Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart talking to each other, and then the world just explodes and it's over.
I don't hate that, honestly. I think that could be a good way to do this.
I don't know which planet it's going to be, and I don't know which franchise it's going to be, but one of them will get cut to and then just immediately blow up, and then everyone's dead.
I think it's the Daredevil Elektra Fox universe.
I can see that happening, yeah. But I always thought McKellen and Stewart, they might do it to that universe just to kind of move them to the side.
To be like, hey, they're really done now. We like, swear to God.
Like, they're done. Like, they're just... Because I know that they're kind of... I know they probably love coming back, but from Marvel's point of view, like, there's been... You kind of want to move forward.
You want to clear the slate, because they also brought them back during the reboot. Like,
and franchise. It was so good. You've already done the perfect way to bring them back and make it amazing.
I think, and this is my little crackpot tinfoil hat thing, is that I think you're right and that the planet will explode. But I think we're going to get like a handshake between Xavier and Magneto, and then it's going to cut from Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen to Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy also shaking hands. And it's like...
Oh, yeah.
Because if those two aren't in this big send-off of every alternate universe that they're doing, I think they're missing a trick.
Yeah. I also think that it'd be really funny to have that scene and then have a separate scene where Channing Tatum's Gambit is like, I'm finally in a movie. This is my big X-Men movie, and the world just explodes.
See, but like it's interesting to see how Channing Tatum Gambit, which I love that's what we have to call him, operates.
It's Channing Tatum Gambit.
It's Channing Tatum Gambit, as we all know, but who was good. But like, I think he worked in that like forgotten storyline world in Deadpool. I don't know how that translates to, hey, he's just hanging out.
Look, I think Channing Tatum Gambit...
See, you have to say it every time.
If I just said Gambit, it doesn't roll off the tongue. Channing Tatum
I would assume
Gambit.
Taylor Kitsch, personally.
I'm like, are you talking about Taylor Kitsch? No, I think Channing Tatum's Gambit is a real we're long-time fans of that character.
Years
for the sole reason,
on this podcast we've been talking about this.
And the only reason for that is because I remember back 2019, 2018, me and you talking to nobody, talking about the fact that Channing Tatum was writing his own Gambit movie because he couldn't get it off the ground.
Yeah, and it escalated in our fucking creative
no, it started
world.
with like, they might be doing it, and then they weren't doing it, and then it was Channing's writing it himself, and then it was Channing's filming it himself, and then Channing is directing it himself.
And Channing is playing all the parts in this Gambit movie.
He just really wanted to get it off the ground, and Sony just couldn't make it work, or Fox, or whatever it was. So, like, it just became one of those things where we were kind of rooted for him to get his moment.
It was the underdog, yeah.
It was the underdog story, but also it was funny that he didn't. So it was kind of a catch-22.
But then he got an ending in Deadpool.
He got an ending. So you're bringing him back, I assume, just to be in the scene when they kill everyone. Because you have all those characters, but there's going to have to be one or two planets where the actors don't want to come back for 5 movies. They're just like, I'm kind of done. So
yeah, this is like my send-off movie. This is the last one, and I'm doing it mostly as a favour.
How many X-Men send-offs have we had?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
Days of Future
Past, Last Stand, Logan.
Days of Future Past is definitely a send-off. And nobody's seen Apocalypse, but I assume that has a send-off in it.
Dark Phoenix feels very send-offy.
Dark Phoenix is the send-off. So we've got the Dark Phoenix one, the Last Stand one, the Days of Future Past one, and the Logan one.
The Logan one, yeah.
Which Patrick Stewart also dies in.
Fuck! Another death!
It's just so... He dies all the time.
Just keeps dying, that man. I don't think he's that powerful, honestly.
Yeah, they're always talking about, his Professor X, he's so powerful, you don't want to fuck with him. I've seen him die so many times. He's lost every fight he's ever been in.
He died in his second body. Because if we're following the lore, he went into his twin brother's body, which was also paralysed. But he died in that one as well. He wasted
couldn't
two
even
bodies.
keep that one safe. He's fucking useless, if you ask me.
Fucking hell. Professor fucking shit, more like it.
Blown into atoms by his student in The Last Stand.
I do love... It pops up maybe a couple of times a month for me on Instagram. And it's that scene from The Last Stand. And it's me when I can't fit into my pants. And it's just him saying, Gene, let me in. Every goddamn time it gets me.
Oh, lads, I think we've gotten away from the fact that Jake Schreier is directing an X-Men movie, but go on him. Fair play to him. See what happens.
But this is the thing. It was like, you do a good movie and good work, you should be rewarded with more opportunities to do good movies and good work.
And allow him to keep doing, like, his vibe. As in, like, don't bring in loads of people who to tell him what to do. Just, if it works, kind of bring that same vibe to the next production.
Yeah, I think filmmaking is one of those things where you should just, if you're really good at what you do, you should just be allowed to do it.
Yeah,
What's
absolutely.
that, meritocracy, I think it's called?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where we gotta keep an eye on it, because X-Men is probably... There's a difference between Thunderbolts and X-Men.
There is.
And they want X-Men to be good. And whenever they want something to be good, then it's a lot harder for the director's personality to come out. Whereas with Thunderbolts, well, it's the Thunderbolts. Like, it's grand. If it flops... I know that the new Avengers thing is in that and all that stuff, but if it flops, they don't really care.
Do you think that if the opening weekend went poorly and there was no buzz, that they would cut out the new Avengers part?
Yes. 100%.
Because there's a very clear moment in that film, spoilers by the way, but like, it's where they're on one side of a wall and then they cut and they go to the other side of the wall and suddenly it's a new Avengers press conference. I feel like there's another take of that where they're just kick the shit out.
If the movie was received badly, I don't think any of those posters are released. All of the new ones. I don't think there's any moment where they're released.
Immediately.
So, Sean, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and it's about Lord of the Rings. You love that.
I do indeed.
Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, set to release December 2027. We have an official release date for Andy Serkis's Lord of the Rings movie, which coincidentally is The Hunt for Gollum, which I suppose you could say Andy Serkis getting himself work because he's directing himself as Gollum.
True, which I respect the hustle. I've also gone on record of saying I don't think this movie should exist.
There's two parts of me. One, we like Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
And think he's very, very good. And I love the idea of him going to the studio being like, we need to do another Lord of the Rings movie, but it should be about Gollum.
Yeah.
I love that. I think everyone should go to the studio and just say about their character, and the next movie should be based on their character. I think that's the only way to do it.
Charlie Cox going up. I think we should do a Daredevil film, personally.
Avengers Daredevil.
But I don't know if... Because the hunt for Gollum in the books is like, it happens off screen, and it's Aragorn just looking for Gollum for a few months.
So when does this technically take place?
So this takes place in between... So it's after Bilbo's birthday, and Gandalf discovers that it could be the Ring of Power. So he goes off and studies, and in the books it's years that Gandalf is gone for. And then there's a point where Gandalf's like, okay, the ring went into the river, and then there was someone murdered by the river, and it was murdered by this guy, and I'm going to follow and find out where he went. So he gets the best ranger he knows, which is Aragorn, known as Strider, in the village of Bree.
Okay.
And he gets him to hunt down Gollum and capture him. And Gollum eventually escapes, and then Gandalf goes off to, I think, talk to the White Council, and then that's why Aragorn meets the lads in the pub in Bree instead of Gandalf, which was the original plan. See,
I knew you had that in your brain, so I just wanted to give you a moment.
Can't drive. It's
hasn't seen Young Justice, but still, he knows all that stuff. I mean, the real question of this is, does Ian McKellen, Orlando Bloom, Viggo Mortensen, do they come back for this? Or, like, how does it work?
They totally could, because Gollum is left with the elves in Mirkwood for a while. So they could totally get back. They could get back Legolas. Like, they could get back a bunch of the elf actors that they had.
And Orlando Bloom doesn't age, so you could get him back.
Yeah. Orlando Bloom could be fine. Viggo, I think, might be... Viggo was older than Ian McKellen was when he played Gandalf the first time.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, like, I think it's one of those where you're like, do you bring them back? I really hope they don't do the CGI thing. Like,
no.
I suppose the question is, why does this exist? But will it be good? I suppose is the question.
I think it'll be on the level of maybe the second Hobbit.
Oh, that's not a ringing endorsement.
It's not great, but like I'll watch it because I like Lord of the Rings.
It's fine.
I just think it's a. Sometimes a thing is announced and it reeks of, hey, we're desperate for something, you know.
This kind of gives a vibe of we have the IP and we want to do something with the IP.
Yeah.
So, and I even think, like, even the Hobbit movies, that the fact that they split them into 3,
insane.
and, like, they're all 3 hours long is fucking crazy. But, because the original trilogy is, like, the best trilogy of all time, or, like, right up
it's
there
insane.
with all
it's like
of them.
it still holds up today.
It's still amazing. And so, like, all the rest of them that come after it, it's like diminishing returns. What was the name of the last one, Shaun? Can you remember?
The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies?
Yes, it is. See, if you'd asked me that, and I didn't have that in front of me, I could not have told you.
See, in the book, you don't see the battle, because Bilbo is knocked out at the start of it.
Ah, right, okay. So, I'm interested to know how this works. I think Andy Serkis, good on you. But how is he going to have the time to do this when he's Alfred in the Batman 2?
Oh, see, Conor, this might be another nail in the coffin of the because if he's directing and acting,
yeah,
and presumably overseeing some of the CGI on the mocap,
I would say most of it. Yeah, he'd be doing all the pre-production and post-production
until 2027. You say December of 2027.
But he's all jammed up. He's on set with Matt Reeves.
Look, he's got so many cufflinks to get gifted.
I suppose maybe Alfred isn't in the movie that much, Shaun. You know how it is. Just like, maybe he doesn't pop up.
What if it's announced that Robert Pattinson is playing Aragorn?
Matt Reeves is directing it. The whole crew. And I'm still like, maybe they'll do the boat on the same day.
Maybe Batman 2 is filmed in a car park outside.
They film it until lunchtime, and during their lunch break they run out into the car park. Rob, get that fucking suit on. Yeah, here we go.
It's done all on iPhone.
So Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news. And this one really surprised me, because did you like the 2005 classic Miami Vice?
The Colin Farrell movie.
Yes. Did you like the original show from 1984?
So, my experience with Miami Vice was I only saw the 2005 film when I was around about the time it came out, like probably when it came out on DVD, because my parents liked the original Miami Vice series.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it being like, I think this is bad. I don't like this.
It was your first moment you were like, hang on, things can be bad.
Yeah. I think I was playing, was it a DS or a Game Boy I was playing while I was watching it? Something like that. That's
always a fascinating time when you're a child. It's the first time you realise that why would they make something if it was bad?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why not just make it good if you're going to make it?
Because I remember watching Wolverine Origins, and I don't know, I was maybe 12.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not having fun. I'm not feeling joy.
And I know I like Wolverine, so it can't be that.
And I remember finishing it and being so confused. I was like, well, why would they make it like that? I don't understand.
Did no one watch this? Like, just in disbelief of, like, they put out a bad product.
Just staring vacantly out the window. Like, the concept of just, like, things can be bad, not everything is perfect. There's a grey area, Shaun.
There's a point, like, up to a point, every movie you watch is good because you don't know any better.
Of course. You're just like, every movie you see is like, oh, that's the best movie I've ever seen.
It's like, oh, there's pictures in this thing on the wall. This is class.
And then there's one moment in everyone's life where you just remember one movie and you're like, you finish it and you're like, that was, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but I didn't find that was a useful use of my time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and do some colouring.
I sit up from the family sofa. I'm going to go do some colouring.
Shaun, I have possibly one of the strongest original pitches from Miami Vice, right?
Okay.
Now, they haven't delivered a cast, but what I can tell you is Joseph Kosinski is going to be directing Miami Vice. Now, you know him from Top Gun Maverick. Now, not only is Joseph going to be directing it, the script will be written by Dan Gilroy, the Oscar-nominated writer and director of Nightcrawler, and then he's also, as a screenwriter, written The Bourne Legacy, Kong Skull Island, and several episodes of Andor. So, Shaun...
Interesting. Very interesting, Conor.
And so you've got this, like, duo that are like, oh my god, this is a really fucking strong start in terms of who we're going to get.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're going to give you Miami Vice. So this, to me, has whiffs of Barbie with, like, Greta and Margot Robbie, where you're like, this is a really bad idea, but Greta and Margot are signed on, so I suppose they wouldn't sign on to something that would be bad, surely.
And give me a Glenn Powell, Miles Teller dynamic in this.
You see, the first thing I seen when the first tweet I seen about this, or the first post I seen about this, was surely it's Michael B. Jordan and Glenn Powell.
Oh my god, that's even better.
Yes,
has to be.
Michael B. Jordan, Glenn Powell, directed by Joseph Kosinski, written by Dan Gilroy, and I mean, you're looking at an amazing film, but it's Miami Vice, which is just really funny. Because, like, it's like an all-star crew for a project that shouldn't really have it.
Yeah, for a property that, like, just kind of shouldn't have been as big as it was. Yeah. But are we going to return to the era of, like, white Ferraris and suits with the sleeves rolled up?
I suppose they'd have to.
Oh, give it to me. I'm ready, Conor. It's all coming back around. Then we have Soprano Summer after that.
Obviously, Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell were in the original, or not the original, sorry, the remake in 2000. I think it's 2006 actually, and it was not good. It was not received well.
Much maligned, I believe.
Much maligned, I would say. But like, it's one of those things where when the crew is so strong, and you're like, well, it depends on the casting, but if they get this casting right, this could be outrageously good and make a lot of money.
Yeah. I like the comparison to Barbie of, like, none of this should work. However,
if you told me there's a Miami Vice remake coming, I'm like, well, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
They already did it. It was shit. You're like, oh, you know Top Gun Maverick? Yeah, hit that director. And also the Andor writer. He's coming in. He's just going to do it.
I think one of the recent episodes of Andor was the highest rated TV show ever, I think I saw.
I will also say Dan Gilroy, Oscar nominated for Nightcrawler as well. You know that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal?
One of my favourite films, Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. It's so
he
good.
He wrote and directed it.
Of course. Why wouldn't he?
So I mean, and the Bourne Legacy? What the fuck?
Like, not my favourite Bourne, I will say, but still pretty good as far as Bournes go.
Still Bourne if you're going to bring them in.
Yeah. The also, Michael B. Jordan was brought up, so I have to ask again, because this is my fall guy. Have you seen Sinners?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank God.
Shaun, it's amazing.
It's one of the best films I've ever seen. I love it so much.
Ever in the whole world.
It's two Michael B. Jordans.
You know we love Michael B. Jordan, but like there's loads. There was at least 3 times in the movie where fuck off.
Yeah, there's no reason you should.
With appreciation, I went, Ryan Coogler, gently fuck off into the night.
Ryan Coogler, how dare you? First of all,
how dare you make me think I'm not talented, because I'm not.
Yeah,
but you doing this, Ryan, reminds me.
How dare you make me reflect on my own inadequacies?
Yeah. Like, it's outrageously good, and because Shaun, you know I love vampire stuff as well.
Yeah,
like
it's
big
right
Buffy and Angel fan, so right up my alley. So I'm all about that.
And it's all the rules of vampires in it as well. Oh.
Has all the classic rules. I love a classic rule. No invitations.
No invitations. Fucking garlic. I loved it so much. It's fucking...
Why not?
That's such a good
Ryan
time.
Coogler's a madman, and he's just... I don't know.
Rocky Road to Dublin's in there.
Just, yeah. Like, I think Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan are just get them on any project. Just let them do whatever and just greenlight it. It's fine.
Yeah, this is the meritocracy thing I'm going back to, of like, hey, no, you've just proved you can do whatever, so...
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to move on. I thought, first of all, that Miami Vice thing, I was like, I read the original headline, I was like, geez, this is a terrible idea. And then every word I read, I was like, wait, hang on, hold up.
This is my most anticipated film going forward.
I think this might be the best movie ever. I don't know what's right. So, Shaun, I want to move on to an idea that I think might annoy you. So I've thrown it in here just to annoy you.
Of course.
10 Things I Hate About You, director, plans sequel trilogy.
Already, I've seen the news. I hate it, Connor. 10 things I hate about... I'm going to do that again without the voice crack.
Yes, I got him in the second line.
10 Things I Hate About You is a perfect film.
It's right up there, yeah.
I adore that movie. How dare you try and make 3 more of them?
And I mean, they're going to... It also brings up the fact of, how do you do any sequels without Heath Ledger?
Yeah.
Because... he was probably, I would say, look, and people might disagree with me, Shaun, here, but he was a kind of a main character in that first one.
He was indeed. And it's specifically like, the way he played that character made him a charming little bad boy.
Yeah.
Which, like, you can't then just... Other people can play that role, but they're not going to play it the same. I think it's okay to let something just exist and just that's it.
Like, but then again, right, so they did, like, the Mean Girls sequel, like, all those movies from, like, late 90s, early 2000s that are all, like, cult classics, fan favourites, like, they're all gonna get remade again.
Yeah.
Like, but 10 Things I Hate About You has this weird vibe where it's just like, let's just throw it on. It's just one of those movies that, I don't know how it's that good in terms of what they're doing.
Yeah, and I also think... okay, I'm trying to phrase this without sounding like an absolute, just like back in my day things were better kind of thing.
Here we go. Go back in my day.
But 10 Things I Hate About You exists in a very analogue time.
It's very 90s. Very late 90s.
Very late 90s. And I don't think any... Oh, no, this is a sentence. Let's see where this goes, folks. I don't think anything about the modern world is romantic inherently.
I think we've delved into a bigger problem psychologically.
Like the band scene of like taking the thing and like throwing up the volume and everything like that. Like, that's an arrest now. There's no suspension of disbelief in the modern world if you set a movie here. Because the world is awful.
10 Things I Hate About You have caused my friend to go depressed.
No. Like you... I'm not... This is not gospel. These are fractions of thoughts, and I need you to
perhaps, Shaun,
you need to see where I'm coming from.
Not to get deeper here with you, but perhaps the world was dark back then as well, but you were just a brighter soul, and now you have been beaten down by said world, so now everything is that colour.
No, I think it was better, honestly.
No, it actually was better, to be fair.
The grass, it was so green.
It just seemed like a simpler time.
It did though, right?
You were 6. Of course it was.
Yeah. It's the best. What year did 10 Things I Hate About You come out?
1999, maybe?
How do you pull this every time?
I don't know. Just movie dates are just in my brain for some reason.
Had David Krumholtz, as we're well aware.
Well, then you also have 10 things. So the trilogy. You never even asked me what the trilogy was going to be, Shaun. That's a bit rude of you.
This show is not for the listeners. This is for me to find out movie
10 Things I Hate About You was the first one. Second one, 10 Things I Hate About Dating. The third one, 10 things I hate about marriage, and the fourth one, 10 things I hate about kids. Now, aren't you excited?
I mean, so we're just so the couple we've watched be birthed and then go through issues and then reconcile at the end.
Yeah.
Presumably does that again through dating, does that again through marriage, and does that again through having kids.
Of course. And every single time Joseph Gordon-Levitt pays him to date her, even when they're married.
It's the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids approach of making films, of what else can we make small?
Yeah, it's one of those where once I read it, I was like, surely that's one you can't do again. Like, just, you can't do a sequel to that movie. Like, because for the sole reason, not just because Heath Ledger has passed away, sadly, but like, whoever you bring in to replace him, I don't think that's going to go down well.
No.
Whoever that poor actor is.
And like, if they're doing like dating, does it go straight from like the high school to the dating? So like, you recast entirely. You recast everyone at that
because
point.
Do you bring back Julia Stiles? I mean, you could bring her back for like the next two, but you can't bring them back for the dating if they're still 19 in that one.
Yeah, and then who do you cast? Like, it's such a poison chalice to give someone.
Why would you do that?
Do like Anyone But You was like, that's the rom-com. That's what that is now. That's a fantastic film. More of that kind of stuff rather than, hey, this was successful.
You don't have to don't remake the other ones. Rom-coms are classics. You can just leave them as classics.
10 Things I Hate About You. 97 minutes, man. Perfect film.
It runs at a clip. Just flies through it. Absolutely great. Shaun, my question now to you is, what's the best rom-com of that era? Oh, boys.
Oh,
you can't
90s.
go with Harry Met Sally. That's before that.
That's fair.
I'm giving you 98 to 02.
98 to
97
02.
to 02, something like that.
When did How to Lose a Guy come out?
I think that was 04.
Fuck.
Maybe 02, actually. I'm not quite sure.
I really like... No, Pretty Woman was way earlier. Pretty Woman's great, though, if anyone hasn't seen it.
That is true. I will say, obviously, the best rom-com of all time is About Time. So, you can't count anything else. You can say the Notebook all you want, but it's about time, if we're all being honest with ourselves.
Yeah. 13 Going on 30?
That is a good one. That's pretty good. Is that might be 03.
Hang on. If you've pulled this again, I swear to God.
If it's 03, that's mental.
2004.
Oh, no. I'm an idiot.
She's the Man, 2006. Oh, my God. Do you know what? I don't know if it's a rom-com.
Right.
But one of my genuine favourite movies is The Princess Diaries.
It's a good one. It's a classic one. It's Anne Hathaway at the start.
Yeah.
You gotta live a life where you like Sinners and The Princess Diaries. I think that's a good life.
That's true. Yeah, that's the dream, I would say.
That's a way to live. I think the best one is probably Notting Hill for me.
Notting Hill's pretty good.
I think that's
About a Boy.
Hugh Grant. About a Boy. That's pretty
Nicholas
good.
Hoult,
Yeah,
Hugh Grant.
That's pretty good. I think Notting Hill is my favourite one. I think Four Weddings and a Funeral, I'm not a big fan of it. But Notting Hill is much better than it.
What about She's All That?
It never appealed to me as much.
That's fair.
That's what I would say.
It is I watched not another teen movie before I watched She's All That.
Yeah,
and not like She's All That is insane in premise, and like how willingly they commit to it all. To the point where Not Another Teen Movie doesn't even parody it that much. It's line for line.
Because what's her name? The actress in She's All That. She's like a fucking model.
Yeah.
Just put like a pair of glasses on her and put her in a jumper.
She's Rachel Leigh Cook.
Yeah. And then they just take off her glasses. Like, oh shit. Oh my God.
Oh my God, she's attractive.
Which makes it kind of seem that anyone wearing glasses is ugly.
A little bit, yeah.
It's a weird vibe.
As a glasses wearer, Can't really.
I agree with that because Shaun is a glasses wearer.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? That's 27 Dresses is pretty good. It's more recent.
Spotify, that's way past O2. Everyone in the comments in Spotify or any sort of platform that you're listening to this on, or even Blue Sky, send in your favourite one. Right?
Please do.
What's the best one? And also 10 things I hate about you.
There was a request on the live stream a while ago to review Hallmark movies. And I would also open that up to rom-coms.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think they're a lot of fun.
I think I love a whimsical rom-com. You know what I mean? Just not a bear.
Yeah, no, You've Got Mail. A Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Oh my God.
They're killing it.
It's amazing. High fidelity. Pretty good.
You've Got Mail? I mean, genuinely, so I always think of You've Got Mail and then Castaway, because I watch them near each other.
What a run, I mean.
Tom Hanks was on a run.
What's the modern You've Got Mail? How do you do that? Send her a follow request on Instagram.
Yeah, you up.
Send her you up.
You up. But is that 2 in the day? Really?
How?
Really give up. So Shaun, we're gonna move on to our next piece of news, and it is, I wanted to cover a lot of different things, but Marvel have come back in because there's a rumour going around, Shaun, that Marvel have decided that they will stop featuring major characters from MCU movies in the Disney Plus shows. So the Marvel TV shows will stop featuring major characters from the MCU movies.
Right. Okay. So the whole premise of the Disney Plus Marvel stuff is out the window.
Yeah.
So absolutely. That means She-Hulk and Daredevil are never getting films.
I feel like this is a really roundabout way of telling Charlie Cox to go fuck himself.
Yeah. I'm like, you're lucky we fucking gave you another season.
You're employed, Charlie, to be honest with you now. Because every so often he's like, maybe I could just even a little one, just tell Peter Parker.
I do feel like the writing was kind of on the wall when, in Brave New World, nothing related to Falcon and Winter Soldier came up.
Yeah.
You could go straight from Endgame into that movie and you're fine.
Because the upcoming Vision series will be the last Marvel series to feature major characters.
There was a goddamn Vision series.
Have you not been? I've been counting down the days on my little calendar. I've been Xing out every day. Waiting for the Vision series.
On your Vision board, of course.
On my Vision board. It's just pictures of Vision.
That's what it's meant to be, right?
Yeah, I got confused. You'll get mentions of major characters, just like how Spider-Man was referenced in Daredevil Born Again during a speech by Wilson Fisk. But he'll say, "Oh, man who dresses in a spider outfit," which he kind of said. But there's going to be references, but nobody will be seen. The big screen characters are just on the big screen.
We're back. It's 2014 again, and it's Jessica Jones Netflix. Of
it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, when the big green guy jumped into the building, like you're hamstringing your writers so badly.
The whole point of the Disney Plus shows was the fact that you had to think of you could see the big movie people in a series.
Yeah. And you could tell other stories, and they were meant to be smaller stories, but every story was the end of the world.
But then they got too big. The stories got too big.
They were 6-hour movies we were being fed, and they were fucking terrible for the most part. For a $5, name the villains in Ms. Marvel.
Oh, fuck. And I like Miss Marvel episode 1 and 2 are, I think, the best episodes.
One of the best pilots I've seen.
Oh, yeah, I remember us glowing about that fucking pilot. It was amazing. What are the villains called?
That visual style they lose immediately in the series.
Yeah, it's like there's a really cool visual style for the first episode, and then it immediately falls off. It's like they ran out of money for some reason. It's very strange.
Becomes every other series.
What are the villains called in Miss Marvel? Malekith, the Dark Elf?
No, that's Thor the Dark World, as you well know, Connor.
Okay.
Which, going back to it, isn't that bad compared to what we get now.
True.
The Clandestine.
Oh, of course, yes. They were so fucking well thought out.
So well. I know exactly what they wanted.
Evil. They wanted evil.
They wanted bad, yes, of course.
They wanted kill good people. That's what they wanted. I think this is a ridiculous idea, and it's so funny that they've done this. But look, it's a rumour, so we don't know. Maybe they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I also think it's also kind of coincidental that Jeremy Renner's not in Hawkeye Series 2 in any way.
So they wanted to pay him half of what he was paid for the first one.
True. And then you also have to think of, well, maybe they want to just get rid of all the people that have been in the movies.
Also possible. I also think they might want to just... I think Disney Plus worked really well in lockdown when everyone was locked inside and couldn't go to cinemas.
Yes.
But now I think, like every streaming service, they're hemorrhaging money with it.
Yeah. So they want to basically make their show... They want to make Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for all of the series.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like, if you really care and give a shit, but also now nothing that happens in those series affects what happens in the cinema.
Yeah, they can't have it affect anyone. Because it's... Otherwise, then you'll have to watch them.
Yeah.
So it's a weird dynamic.
Again, give me Kevin Feige on a whiteboard saying, this is real, this is canon, and Secret Invasion, get rid of it. We didn't do it. It doesn't count.
Maybe a Disney Plus series, though, will be difficult to do once all the worlds start exploding.
That's also true.
If you're going to combine all the worlds, then you would really not include anybody until you figure that out.
You would want to have, I would say, the scripts and the story beats lined up before you start smashing all the worlds together.
That would make sense, yeah. So we're finishing off this week, Shaun, with another little rumour that I like the sound of. That is involving Will Poulter. That he could be going from one team to the other. I always think that's really funny because they're just an actor, so it doesn't really matter.
That man is hired to do work.
He's just hired. There's people that I think it was in maybe the 1950s that people would only work for one studio, and now it's oh well, these have a production and these have a production. Just doesn't matter. But he's going from Marvel to DC because James Gunn is thinking of maybe using him, bringing him in as a different Adam Strange. He will be coming into the DC universe as. Now
remind me of Adam Strange and what he's about, Conor.
So it's Adam Strange is I'm pretty positive he came into comics before Hal Jordan. He was during the Silver Age where it was all space, jetpacks.
Yeah, weird stuff. Everyone was doing drugs.
Everyone was fucking weird. Everyone's taking things out of beakers and just drinking it, and then they get superpowers, and now they can go to space, right? And he's if I remember correctly, Adam Strange, he's an archaeologist, and then he gets teleported to a different galaxy from Earth, in a cosmic, new world cosmic place, flying cars. You know how it is, Shaun.
I know.
And he ends up being the superhero for that planet, because that planet sent out a beam to get somebody in the universe to come to their planet and be a superhero. But he has no superpowers. He just has a jetpack and laser guns, and he goes around protecting the planet and stuff like that. He's basically a normal dude on a different planet.
Like an Iron Man in space.
Kind of, yes. But it's mostly just about the jetpacks. It's all I think of when I think of Adam Strange.
Yeah, no, I understand. Do you think James Gunn gets too weird with his characters sometimes? I
think James Gunn, this is right up his street. This is right in his ballpark. You've got Adam Strange. He's loving that shit. What are you talking about?
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a question of what? Because all I'm thinking of is The Rocketeer.
That is true, yes, but I think he's going to use him in the Lanterns show.
Okay.
I think he might be perfect in that role, or something around there, or in the Supergirl movie, or in the Superman movie. You can't really use him in the Batman movie, makes no sense. You need somebody in space, so that's why immediately I was Green Lanterns, they go to his planet and he's there.
Yeah. What if he shows up in the Batman 2, though? Would that cause any conflict?
I would take that, yes. What if he shows up in Lord of the Rings 2027?
I'm finding Gollum! He flies across the...
Robert Pattinson's Viggo Mortensen. I think, once I read this, I was first of all, Will Poulter, great actor. Yeah. Get him to do whatever you can. Get him involved. And James Gunn's whole thing of just getting his friends to do stuff and he worked with him on Guardians of the Galaxy 3, of course, so he's going to get him in and bring him involved. Big name to get, because that's a TV show if he does come into the Lanterns thing.
Yeah, everyone in that is kind of a big get for a TV show, which is...
That means they're putting money.
Yeah. But I think that's a testament to, hey, this stuff is planned out well in advance. We know what's going to happen.
There's now a gap in the market. If the other guys aren't putting the big people on the series stuff that they're doing, and then you start putting all the big people into different series because you have max money. And HBO Max money is unlimited money.
Yeah, but it also sounds like DC are going more into like, hey, we're making shows that happen to be about these comic characters. But it's not like homework that you have to do to enjoy all the films.
Yeah, like the Lantern stuff is going to be... I think having the Lanterns as a TV series is actually a much better way to do it anyway. Even if you're not going to bring a Lantern into the movie form, but Lanterns as a concept... takes a lot of run up. It takes a bit of run up that maybe in a movie you won't get that time, because by like the time 45 minutes into the movie you've explained everything. It's just exposition, and then you're like, okay, quickly now the villain's here, Sinestro's here, we gotta stop.
And then it's a very simple good versus evil story instead of what the Lanterns are, which is space cops,
and like a psychological thing of like, what is fear? We've talked about all that stuff with Jessica Cruz, that you can get like really in depth into all that stuff. So like I think a Lantern show works a lot better. You can do like a lot of different avenues. You can kind of build it up a lot slower and make it more logical. I know Lanterns aren't very logical, and it's space people, but space cops. But just you can. It's easier to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, Will Poulter coming in, I mean, he played Adam Warlock, so now he's just playing Adam Strange. He just distinctly plays Adams.
Plays all the
reason.
Adams.
Plays all the Adams.
Adam, have you seen that guy? He's built.
Look at his hair. Do you think he should play the Atom next?
Ray? Oh, is it Ray Parker?
Yeah. Oh,
Roy
Ray,
Parker.
close. Ray. No, Ray.
Ray Palmer.
There you
go. I watched most of Arrow.
I've seen Arrow season 2 or 3 or whatever he's in.
I've seen the pilot to Legends of Tomorrow. It couldn't grab me, I'll be honest.
So look, I think it's a pretty big get. I think it's a good sign for all that DCU like DCU HBO Max stuff. I also think that like if they're going to start doing more series, I think they could go that way, that like people like Adam Strange pop up, because James Gunn loves all that weird shit. Like he loves weirdos in space.
Yeah, and now you say it like as a series, that's perfect for, hey, one episode we're just on this planet with this one dude.
Yeah, they go meet him. Yeah. And he's just like, I'm just a regular guy. I was just sent here. I'm just protecting this planet.
Yeah, and I do my job, and that's what I'm about.
I think it's going to work really well. I think Will Poulter's really good get. So, Shaun, I think that's it for this week's movie news.
What a week. Would you like me to take us out, Conor?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back on Heroes for Hire Presents Weird News right now as you're listening to this, and we will be back on Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that Weird News is now a separate show. Like I've had people who are like, where's Weird News? Just, there is one. Here's for Hire. Just type in Here's for Hire Weird News at the Spotify or whatever platform you're listening to on, and it'll just pop up.
Yeah, and it's same show, just on a different feed, so it kind of keeps them separate, because very different topics, I will be honest.
Yeah, of course.
Big thank you to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. Big shout outs go to Róisín and Baby Ben Palmer, Ryan, Komatsu, Dozer, Enthusiast, Evanson, Waffles, that's it, just Waffles, nothing else, just call me Waffles, David Clarke, Dominic, Anna Sharkfoot, Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Frost, currently riding a WWE hyperfixation wave, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine don't like our chances of winning the Eurovision, Russ-No Conor, we do not want a little rundown of war games, we want a 3-part series-Parfitt, Jackson Brueheim, Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon, Ciara Lawler, Judge Leahy, Mikeychairsnumber1fan Shaun is cool and a genius, Ruairi, Shaun, Pete. Shaun, your Secret Wars Hero or Zero episodes were fantastic. Give yourself a pat on the back. Well,
fuck off, Pete.
I will. I might just take some time right now, pat myself on the back. Thank you very much.
He doesn't need that shit.
Jack Markham, Johnny Ray, Hunter Harvard, the Texas Ironman, Donegal George, Lisa is an absolute legend, Justin Bowman, Joe Reid, John Neesmith, the Dr. Dara, Ted Sullivan, and Jeff Scroger. Thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. Head on over to patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. There is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @Heroes for Hire pod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Neal.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.